Sanje chudan soje jo la janjo bardo dane japso che dage jenso jibe senam Rulla benzer sanje drba jo sanje chudan soje jonam la sanjo bardo dan Dagi jinso jibe sunam je rola benza sanje draba yo sanje judan soje jonam la chanjo bardo dane jabzan Dagi jinso jibe sunam je rola benza sanje draba yo semje damje deva dan dev Mar George Dungar Dan Dungar Ji Judan Tower George Dungar Mola Neba George Samjan Damje Deva Dan Deve Judan Dembar Dungar Dan Dungar Ji Judan Tower George Dungar Meba Deva Damba Dan Mindrava George Nyeren Chadan Nidan Danyan Jembo La Neba George Samjen Damje Deva Dan Deve Judan Dembar George Dungar Ji Judan Trawar George Dungar Mebe Deva Damba Dan Mendava Nyeren Chada Nidon Jorga Donyon Jembo La Neba George Parden Zawe Lama Rambo Je Tage Je Lede Dinjo La Kadren Jembo Gune Jiz Doje Ngurdob Zar Do Zo Semde Rajin Wezara Vena Nyuma Ngo Mizene Kandan Rogen Dami Tash Yanda Done Tamje La Zobe Sanje Jijo Zeba Driba Mebe Longa Simjin Namdan Taye Yurjin Yishi Zenga De Lo Nu Gange Lo Du Demni Tendar Nyedar Namda Rabsar Chenye Dongen Jije Zeze Nije Tukar Lewan Zeng Kanda Sebe Zunrar Mare Donghar Jizer Roso Konla Puje Darze Yonde Yinludo Jase Tubu Go Chucha Judan Juni Jinde Dalom Jambe Yanlandu. Okay, so good afternoon, and once again, welcome back to the Buddha nature. We are talking in the Buddha nature. Let us briefly review that what we have discussed day before yesterday, some topics that which is related with the Buddha nature. In that case, what we have learned is Buddha nature is ultimate pure. That purity, the purity is not really conceptual category of pure and impure, but that Buddha nature is supreme, transcendent pure. And then Buddha nature is also, we could call the self, supreme self. That self is not again conceptual, categorically self and selflessness, but beyond that, transcendental self. And Buddha nature is blissful or happiness. That blissful or happiness is not really this conceptual category of blissful or sorrow, happiness and suffering, this category of bliss, but it is transcendental, blissful or happiness. Then Buddha nature is also called permanent. Again, this permanent is not a conceptual, categorical permanent, that which is opposite of impermanent. But this permanent is a transcendental permanent that we should understand. When we say Buddha nature is permanent, Buddha nature is self, Buddha nature is blissful, Buddha nature is purity. So we should know we are talking about beyond conceptual level. We are talking about, beyond that, conceptual level, intellectual level. That is what we have discussed yesterday. And then the second point in that yesterday, the point that related with Buddha nature is someone who realized Buddha nature or maybe experienced Buddha nature. That means we realized true nature of the mind. In that case, that particular person becomes noble beings or bodhisattva or even enlightened beings. So such particular person, he or she is not belongs to the samsara first. Why? That particular person realized the nature of the samsara as emptiness. So since from your point of view, there's no samsara at all exist in the form of the intrinsic nature, the form of the independent nature. So that way, that particular person's never belongs to the samsara. At the same time, that noble being, particular person is not really rest in the nirvana. The reason why is, again, that what we call the bodhisattva, when they practice in the path, spirituality, they generate love and compassion towards the sentient beings. Because this love and compassion has gone in very deeper state of their consciousness, that love and compassion not really, leave the sentient beings. So because that particular bodhisattva was not rest in nirvana. So therefore, such bodhisattvas and Buddhas are what we call free from the two extremes of samsara and nirvana. Okay. No mind. Okay. Anyway. Then, next point, what we have discussed yesterday is again, in many cases, and sometimes, the people, like ordinary people like us, used to feel that mundane things, samsaric conditions, situations, useless, meaningless, have no really, value in it. Naturally, sort of feelings come up in the mind. And then, naturally, one wish to second the spiritual path and achieve some inner development and inner reality through the spiritual path. That means that is the sign that every sentient being's mind possessed Buddha nature. Because the power of Buddha nature, one naturally mind renounce the samsara and suffering the samsara and wish to obtain the nirvana. Even sometimes you haven't heard about nirvana, But some case, you fed up the samsara and the mundane things, and naturally, I wanted to achieve something else beyond that conditioned world. Sort of things, people used to have. That is also we have discussed last time. So then today we begin some other the points that which related with Buddha nature again. The first point today, what we're going to talk is Dempe Dun in Tibetan words. Dempe Dun means Demba in that case. What kind of quality is based on the Buddha nature? Or another way to say, what qualities hold in Buddha nature, or what quality contains in the Buddha nature? These things we should say today. And the first point that, in that case, in English sentences, translation. Okay. Here says, like the great sea, it holds qualities, immeasurable, precious, and inexhaustible. Its essence holds indivisible properties. Thus, the element is similar to the Lama. So, in that case, generally speaking, the lot of countless enlightened qualities exist in Buddha nature, naturally exist. And particularly, in this particular point, express the quality of the causes and qualities of fruit. These two things. First, what mean by quality of the causes here, that which we hold in the Buddha nature is the causes for Buddha nature manifests. In order to manifest this Buddha nature, we need different types of quality. No, it's a cause and conditions that we have mentioned before. What are those? The causes are as we mentioned before. Devotion to the Mahayana teaching and practices, and then meditative concentration, samadhi, should be established, and then discriminating wisdom should to be developing, and then love and kind of compassion, especially compassion, should to be generating. That four qualities are the real cause for the Buddha nature, bring up into the state of the manifestation and experience and realized. So here, those qualities already present in the Buddha nature, where we are an ordinary person. Okay? So here, the ideas, those qualities not come to us from outside. For instance, devotion to the Mahayana path, for instance, wisdom and experience of samadhi, all of them not come to us from outside. But we have already that, at least potential. At least there's a seed of them already contains in the very pure level of consciousness. We have to make it active. Do you understand that? So therefore, from from the tradition of the Buddha nature, or from the tradition of the Yendong Madhyamaka. So all these good qualities, positive thoughts, emotions are already present in the Buddha nature, which is indivisible, which is inseparability nature with the Buddha nature. Okay, talking about that. All this love, compassion, wisdom, and whatever may be, that's we be able to have when we achieve a state of realization and become bodhisattva and become Buddha. All those qualities already present in the Buddha nature. The presentation is its form of inseparability nature with the Buddha nature. That is the real view of Yintong Madhyamaka, and which is based on the teachings of the Buddha nature. And then here, second quality of the result, or quality of fruit is also, it's not something newly produced. When we experience Buddha nature, actualize Buddha nature, and realize Buddha nature, at that moment, we will be able to have a lot of extraordinary qualities. We will be able to have a lot of what we call this how to say that? Yeah, extraordinary. Like that's that the ordinary person never. Okay, this is come to next. The root text says Buddha nature is similar to compared to the ocean. That ocean contains the first what needed to be ocean is the container, and the second, and the ocean, in the deepest level of the ocean, there are a lot of gem, precious things. Okay, and then the third, the what? Gems and water. So that is the ocean. Usually, when we say the ocean, whatever may be, have different aspects of things: container, water, gem, water. Okay, these three. So that is something like Buddha nature holds devotion and meditative concentration and samadhi and compassion. In that particular case, the container of ocean is compared to the devotion to the Mahayana path. Mahayana path is compared to the container of ocean. Then meditative concentration and discriminating wisdom, these two things compared to the gem or precious things in the ocean. And then water itself compared to the compassion. It is similar, actually, very similar. For instance, meditative concentration and the discriminating wisdom is a really precious thing, which fulfilling gem, actually. These two things make us, that two things becomes benefit, source of benefit to oneself and to others. And then compassion is just like water. And like I mentioned before, without love and compassion, mind is too dry. And even you have that's the highest level of intellectual mind, understanding everything theoretically and intellectually, but if you don't have much love and compassion, the spiritual qualities never growing within this dry mind. It needs a little bit of weight to grow up something. So therefore, love and compassion is a very basic condition to develop spiritual quality in the mind. Okay, so so that is one thing, and then also this Buddha natural is compared to the Badalam here, according to this teaching Lam. The Lam has aspects as well of light, heat, and color. So that similar thing when Buddha nature manifests in the form of the experience. Okay, let us come to later again. So then we go to the next shloka, more detail about this thing. Next shloka, unified elements of Dharmakaya are vectors, wisdom, and great compassion. It is shown as being similar to the sea by the vessel, gem, and the water. Probably that we already said. Then clairvoyance, primordial wisdom, and the absence of the pollution are the totally indivisible and net up to the unstained about. Thus, it has properties corresponding to the light, heat, color of Badalam. When I said the first shloka, in the deepest level of the ocean, there are a lot of precious things, gems and these things. It is something to do with the very ancient Indian Indian tradition. It's not tradition. Usually merchants in India, very early ancient time, they go to the ocean to pick up the gems and the precious things, and brought back to the island, the mainland. I don't know really what kind of gems and precious things that they found in the ocean. Probably, I don't know. They used to go there and that way, merchants. So because these, the cultural traditions exist during that time, so always, in many Buddhist teachings mention these kind of things. If you reach to the ocean, must pick up the, precious things. Don't come back to empty hand, and so on, so on. So anyway, that's a jest. So then, then what is the quality of result that which is manifests in our life when we recognize the Buddha nature? Is again, there are countless qualities. Buddha's qualities and Bodhisattva's qualities experience in the mind. At the same time, we, that others be able to sing these qualities to you. At the same time, in this particular sentence, there are a few mentioned, such as clairvoyance, extraordinary beings, like higher reached bodhisattvas, Buddhas have some kind of capable to see, to know, that which ordinary person never see and never known things. That is what we call the clairvoyance. And then here's the primordial wisdom. Primordial wisdom is the wisdom that is the primordially, or that's inherently exist and demand natural. And that is also manifests out informed experience and the realization when we see the true nature of the Buddha nature. And then wisdom and absence of the pollution. What I call it? Okay, here the primordial wisdom is okay. I just a little bit more. I trying to go more detail about these things here. Clairvoyance is related with the fixed sensory thoughts, fixed sensory consciousness. If someone obtained the clairvoyance power, that means you see distant place objects, you hear very distant sounds, and you can smell the distant smells, and feeling touching, even that's far away. And then you can read other people's mind through your mental states. All those are the that's related with the clairvoyance. And then here, primordial wisdom has another potential to know. That is the knowing true nature of the existence. Do you understand that? Knowing true nature, how things really are, knows by directly realized the primordial wisdom, not clairvoyance. No matter you have these 5 or 6 types of clairvoyance in your mind, but not yet you understand in truth. You can see the object Eiffel Tower in Paris from here. You can see, but it does not mean you see the true nature. like this that clairvoyance related with the sensory consciousness obtained purely samadhi, meditative concentration samadhi. Okay? In that case, you do not, even it is possible you are not yet being in the bodhisattva. Realize the true nature of the mind. Realize the true nature of existence. The purely you are meditate long enough, your meditative samadhi's stability, your concentration is sharpened. From that point, there could be extraordinary visions that consciousness developed extraordinary things. So it does not mean you are realized in that point. Just you have the deep meditative concentration experience. So it is a very common sense to the spirituality practice. It's the grounds of the spiritual traditions. For instance, both in Hinduism, Buddhism share exactly the same ground in that case. Even one could have the miracles, all of these meditative concentrations, different miracles. Extraordinary things happen in the life. But somehow, wisdom is not there still. But of course, somebody has both this, Wisdom is something, another way to develop. That is to seeing the truth, true nature of the existence. If you see the true nature of the existence through only logic, through only reason, through your intellectual mind, again, that does not mean you are realized truth. You are recognized true nature of the existence, not yet, but the conceptually, intellectually, you realized, not directly experience. In order to directly experience that truth, you need to have what we call here wisdom. Primordial wisdom has to be developed. That primordial wisdom should to be developed in your mind stream through meditative concentration and intellectual understanding how things really are, joined together, working together, and maintain that state of the mind and form the awareness presence. If long enough meditate on that way, then eventually that conceptually understanding the nature of existence no more in the conceptual level, no more in the thought level, no more in the what we call the intellectual level, but it comes to the more deeper, and even eventually it come into the state of experience. Then eventually it comes to the direct recognition. So that again, that things again supported by meditative concentration. Without meditative concentration, this intellectual thing cannot do it. Without intellectual understanding, that meditative concentration cannot reach this level. Therefore, wisdom and methods has to be together, has to be practiced in separability. These things as compared to the shooting the arrow. If you shoot the arrow to the target, you need both bow and arrow. Bow itself never reach to the target. Arrow itself without bow, it's not fly by itself to the target. You need bow and the arrow together, shoot to the target. What goes to the target is not bow, goes the arrow. So bow is the methods. It is a meditative concentration. Arrow is the intellectual understanding how things are. And real what cuts the root of ignorance, ego clinging is not arrow, but not bow, but arrow. So therefore, real what cuts the ego clinging and the ignorance or destroy the target is the wisdom, not meditative concentration. So that way it is easily to say, no matter how you meditate long enough, no matter how your meditation is profoundly experienced, like joy, like thoughtless clarity, but in the terms of ego, get rid of impossible, stay there, ego stay there. In terms of ignorance, never disappeared. Do you understand that? Meditative experience subside, brain subside these disturbing emotions, ego clingings, and the subtle level. But cut root never happens by meditative experience, by this meditative concentration. In order to really cut ignorance, ego clinging, you have to have the wisdom. This is the real point of Buddhism. So we should understand that as we are Buddhist practitioners, meditative concentration is so important, so good to us. It brings the mind joy, clear, and freshness, and non-conceptual state, not only in the mental level, but in the physical. It's feels joy eventually. But somehow, only that path, follow this, path, you would not be able to liberate from samsara. That means you will not be able to cut the root of the ego clinging. So you need wisdom also too, the knowledge. Wisdom is born from the knowledge. First, know things, how things really are through the intellectual mind. It go deep into the, it come to with this meditative concentration, that knowledge transformed into wisdom. So trying to understand that the wisdom and the knowledge is different, a little bit different. Means the knowledge is still in the intellectual and dualistic level, dualistic view level knowledge. Wisdom is non-dual, non-conceptual level. That is the happened due to the meditative concentration. Okay, not too much explain these things. So that way, this what we call the qualities that contains in the results, clairvoyance, primordial wisdom, and then what we call the compassion or meditative concentration. All of them are not newly produced. Again, I already mentioned, it's not a production, newly manifested, but it's already present within the Buddha nature. It is a form of the unmanifested. So, okay. So for that reason, again, Buddha nature is compared to the Badalam. Badalam has light and heat, and then it has color. Similar things that Buddha nature hold these three or four qualities all together. It is almost inseparability nature. For instance, these qualities like clairvoyance, primordial wisdom, discriminating wisdom, there's a meditative concentration, and those compassions are not separate entity. It's one unit in the Buddha nature. It is just, that's a inseparability with Buddha nature. Just like a Badalam, the heat, the light, color probably have no separation entity. I don't know. Fire has heat, fire is color, fire has the light. These three aspects are not separate, really, entity. It is one thing manifested in the different, how to say, anyway. Okay, that. Now we come to the little bit. The next point, which is related with again the Buddha nature. Next point is here Tibetan called the Jukpatun. Jimsin Doroteba. The Jeparashiba. Jimsin Doroteba. In English, root text. Based upon the manifestation of the suchness, dividing into that of an ordinary being, that of noble, and that of a perfect Buddha, he who sees thusness has explained the nature of the victory to beings. So jewo zosanji de yinni yen jukpa le teni zibi simjin la yarwin himbon datin to. In the term the jukpatun is it's translated here. Okay, there's no clear. Jukpatun in that case, how we engage for the make connection to the Buddha nature. So that means there are different ways to connect it to the Buddha nature from the different individuals. So here, in the categorically, there are three types of individuals present in this sentence. First, ordinary beings. Ordinary beings. Second one is bodhisattva beings. And the third one is perfect Buddha. These three different category groups of the being have different way to contact or make connection with the Buddha nature. So whatsoever may be your way of make connection, contact with the Buddha nature, you have the Buddha nature. Even your way to make connection to the Buddha nature in opposite way, or partially good way to connect connection to the Buddha nature, or fully connected with Buddha nature. But all these three types of the person, ordinary sentient beings, bodhisattvas, Buddhas, all of us have the Buddha nature. So here, okay. Then the next shloka is more, the second shloka explains the detail. The first shloka is just a briefly introduction. The second shloka is more detail. So here, more detail than this particular shloka's meaning. Oh yeah. It manifests as perverted views in ordinary beings, as a perversal of this in those who see the truth, and it manifests as it's in an unperverted way, and as freedom from the elaborations into Tathagata. It is basically very easy. This sentence is very easy. So jewo chichilo demba tona doba de yinshi pa jijin and chichimalo to me ni. When when we are in the ordinary person, just ordinary, mostly our feeling towards ourselves, mostly our feeling, our, that's how to say this, idea towards everything is pretty much opposite to the Buddha nature. Okay? Even with the Buddha nature, the perfect one in our mind, since we are not aware of it, since we are not really, experiences, we think we are dumb. We think we are stupid. We think we are just ordinary. Sometimes we feel ourselves the miserable one, full of the anger, jealous, attachment, ego clinging. So that way of our life is pretty much against with who we are, really. So that's how we should make contact with Buddha nature. And yeah, that does not mean we are something terribly wrong, but it is just due to the ignorance, due to the, due to the, we are not aware of the Buddha nature. We have never heard about that. So we have no choice. We have heard a lot of the wrong things, basically. We are educated to be an anger person, to be a jealous person, to be a more ego-clinging person. So that our conditions make us in that way. So therefore, we have no choice at the same time. Even we have the pure natural and primordially perfect, we are not aware of that. We are not experienced of that. We are not even heard about that. Now we start hearing something there, and the basic goodness and the basic natural, we have something there. Don't worry. Don't too much be down. Sort of, that's the teaching provides us something basic goodness within us. Then we feel a little bit, like, okay, I suppose not to be like, such, down, such like, that's a miserable feeling. And the deep down and the fundamental level, okay, not only the okay, good, not only the good, perfect. So, this kind of teaching gives a lot of courage, a lot of confidence, self-confidence come up in that way. So it is really need to hear this kind of, it's not just, the story, make up to say this. This is something there. Buddha sees that. Not only the Buddha, such bodhisattvas, such ahars, such yogis feel that eventually, see that. They be able to manifest this, bring out in the state of experience, in the state of realize. Once you feel a little bit, that makes totally different to you. That's true. During the meditation and the practice, the first, when you begin to meditation practice, everything is so much, difficult, so much sophisticated, so much, the boring. That happens to everyone when you begin it, because you are not really be able to even, close to contact with Buddha nature. And continue, maintain, like, meditation and practice continue. Having trust having a courage that you have something in that. And then, do like this step is eventually what we call the tre is a hits warm up in your mind. And literally meaning warming. Warming means it's not really, there's a warm like clothes, but warming up your mind. It is when you meditate, suddenly feeling something different. It's not only the calm, not only the clear, but somehow there's sense of how to say this is warmth, sense of something there. Even you are not really experienced Buddha natural. Even you are not really, that's aware of Buddha nature. Some kind of like, sign that there is something. Like for instance, the heat and the warm is an example. If you make rub two woods together, rubbing, and first what happened is the warm and heats come out of the two woods, and eventually that heat turn into the fire. Okay, this heat is a sign of fire is coming. Fire is coming. The fire burns all these woods that you rub. That means when you meditate long, practice long, first heat come to your mind, life. Then that heat transformed into the wisdom, that is symbols of the fire. The wisdom bonds all this, what we call this, that all these karmic results of the sagandas, ordinary, whatever may be caused conditions, born into the wisdom. Your life becomes a 5 sagandas of the wisdom saganda. The mind becomes the wisdom. Okay, too much, yeah? So therefore, ordinary sentient beings pretty much are against to go direction to the Buddha nature. But we are turned inward to the Buddha nature. Okay, yeah, we should be happy because like you, person like you, me, and step into the path of spirituality that that's brought us to the Buddha nature, recognition Buddha nature. We are turned to the Buddha state, towards the Buddha nature and approach to the Buddha nature step by step. Most of many people in the world, not only the people, but all sentient beings are, since they are unknown about the Buddha nature, since they have never, thought about practice to recognize the Buddha nature, then always, they go the opposite direction. They're building up ego clanging. They're building up jealous, anger. There's a attachment. Eventually, the very stupid things they do. I'm sorry to say that, but this is what usually the samsara means. And then the second, the bodhisattvas, where to context to the Buddha nature is almost they're partially realized, they partially experienced the Buddha nature, not yet perfect, not yet done, completed, actualized. So that is the bodhisattva's way to make communication to the Buddha nature. And the bodhisattva path, someone who realized is pretty much, that's amazing. Even not yet Buddha, even not yet, enlightened, but your experience is tremendous, different from the ordinary person. Your realization, your way of life, your way of thinking is totally different to the ordinary beings. There's not much involved, at all involved, first, ego clinging. There's not much involved the negative thoughts, negative, these emotions in the bodhisattva's mind. Maybe some case, little bit pops up and disappeared immediately. There's no leave in the trace behind those, disturbing emotions. Not like us. The ordinary like us, disturbing emotions are so strong. It come up, never goes. And even after 10 years, there's a trace follow to us, some kind of negative shadows over there. And the bodhisattva was someone who realized the true nature of the mind, someone who realized empty of everything. They may have, this until the eighth bodhisattva bhumi. They may have some kind of a degree of the disturbing emotions come up, sometimes due to the different conditions and make the anger. Sometimes different conditions approach, make them a little bit, desire, attachment. But this, the experiences not really remains in the mind. It is just to make signature in the water. If you sign the water, immediately it's gone. Like experience some lamas. Today their anger so much, like almost hit. Tomorrow, no, there's nothing. And it becomes usual again. So they never hold anything in this mind. Those are the good lamas, because they're just this anyway. So this is just happens to them due to the understanding empty of nature and realize partially Buddha nature. So then the next one, the Buddhas, the way to communication with the Buddha nature is becomes completely one with Buddha nature. You are not slightly having acting or manifestation or experience out of the Buddha nature. You are completely unified, completely becomes nature of the Buddha nature. That is the manifestors, that is the actualized, that is the the experience. So therefore, Buddhas can be always perfect being. Perfect. They are not slightly that Buddhas need to be removed from the that's Buddha nature. So that's mada tabat hindenam. Then next Hyoloka. And the English translation, root text. The unpurified, the both unpurified and purified, and the utterly purified face are expressed in their given order by the name being Bodhisattva and the Tathagata. It's pretty much easy now. So Buddha nature is totally within and obscuration, not purified, this obscuration. That type of the person called the ordinary person. Buddha nature is totally obscured by the different obscurations of karmic tendencies, obscurations of disturbing emotions, obscurations of knowledge. So therefore, Buddha nature is never aware of by these that type of person, never experience. So that group called ordinary person. That is quite easy. Then partially, both purified and purified means in the bodhisattva, someone who becomes a bodhisattva, the gross level of obscurations purified, especially that obscuration come out of disturbing emotions. That is already the eliminate from the Buddha nature, because when you realized egolessness, at that moment there's no way to have that disturbing emotions come up and leave the tendency of the obscurations. Since the bodhisattva above the first bodhisattva bhumi, they partially purified Buddha natural, and their experience partially Buddha natural, realized not completely, but partial realization happened to them. So that way, those are the bodhisattva. That is pretty much interesting. If you see something, then you are really so excited. That happened, okay? So then the next, there's the person called the Buddhas or enlightened beings. Those are the really, the completed, purified Buddha nature. Completely, utterly purified Buddha nature. Such being called Bodhisattva, these Buddhas. So in this case, what we should understanding is from the ordinary person to the Bodhisattva, there are the long journey, take a long journey. But it's okay. Don't hurry up. If we just step towards the right direction, then each step makes value to us. Do not hurry. I mean, after 1 year, after 10 years, if I'm not happy to that, I'm not being in the bodhisattva, then I failed. No. If your directions to right direction, and you steps 1 or 2 steps, that 1 or 2 steps makes value to you, makes quite benefits to you. So, and that way, and that from that point of view, then each step is joyful. Each step is valuable. We do. So we are moving towards enlightened states. So therefore, do you understand that the step by step, trying to feel each step is valuable. Each step is joyful. Each step brings benefit to us. The step here means the process of a journey of the spiritual path, generally, particularly in the Buddhist spiritual path. The step is exactly the same. When we go somewhere, from here to Bodh Gaya, we have to go, that's a step by step, the walking, after you walk. Similar things, that spiritual journey is just, journey. It's not outer journey. It's inner journey. Inner development process. It can be done step by step. It should be done step by step. There's no way in the first point jump into the last one. It is just a step by step. That's an inner process. Make, increase. So from the bodhisattva path to enlightened path, also it is a long journey. It's take like a long time. So therefore, in this particular case, what we should understand is some people say realization and enlightened is the same thing. No, not at all. Realization is just you see the true nature of your being, not completed. Enlightenment is totally completed. From the realization enlightenment, there's 10th bodhisattva bhumi. 10th level has to pass. 10th level has to pass. Okay? So, here I would like to say, honestly, even this lifetime, not much get a result out of the practice. Don't be discouraged. You have the next life. Because what you have done this life is not the West, not dropped behind you. You only drops your body, your properties behind. But the spiritual merits, karmic tendencies come with you, with the subtle consciousness. And that makes you available in the next lifetimes. And continue journey. And continue with it. It is like, there's a journey from the ordinary to enlightenment, just like, you walk to the Bodh Gaya from here. Okay, today I walk and I sleep there. And tomorrow continue, like this life, come to here. And the next life, this happened. Usually Tibetan word, lej cho, lej cho means, it is, okay, okay, then so therefore, I used to hear some of us at the very beginning time, we have so excited, we have so happy to practice, to listen to teaching and do this, that's for aware and somehow, and after many years, then sometimes they are a little bit upset. They think, oh, it does not work me, it does not happen to me, these kind of things happen. Really, you do not need. The reason why is steps make value to you. You may not be able to change much sometimes due to the different conditions. That's not because something you done wrong in the Dharma practice, or Dharma practice does not make you change. It means maybe your conditions are your conditions, the present condition, your situation may be sometimes appears difficult again and again. So therefore, I don't know how you understand in that case. In the traditional Buddhist countries, especially in the Tibetan people, have very strong tendency to think about it in that way. They may not expect too much. Something happens in the 10 days, in the 10 years and 5 years, but they have belief, very strong belief, confidence. There's something after death. And there's possibility, liberation, and enlightenment one day. So then, aiming that. Aim is that, not just change your temporary life. Since you hold aim, that profound and great aim there to be enlightened, who worry about your present conditions improved by practice or not, actually. Do you understand that? This has come out of you really see, understanding there's possibilities to be born again, and that's eventually get rid of samsara and achieve enlightenment. But somehow, most Tibetan people have this tendency, that I don't know, this is maybe, I'm not saying they're not Dharma aware. Most, Tibetan people and the ordinary people, not that much educated on the Trump's Dharma, but they have strong confidence. And they learn to practice Dharma. It's not for just temporary. There is, of course, temporary improvements for Dharma practice, but mostly they think about the liberation, samsara, and achieve enlightenment. For this reason, never tired, never that's at the end you never see I waste my time to practice Dharma. Never this thought happens to. I used to hear, and I used to see many practitioners in the Tibet, very well practitioners, but their personal conditions are so poor. Like they have no much, that belongs to them, but totally life is dedicated to the practice. And when they reach the end of the life, but they never feel that they waste their life in the practice, really not. They just look at how their journey, they come up, life end to the end, only the practice. Then that, that's they think really precious. I have done really precious things, most wonderful things. They have the rejoice, more rejoice than they become President of the United States. They have rejoiced their life more than that they used to be a billionaire. Really, the mind is so full of joy. Mind is so full of, that's rejoicing with their life because they have confidence to the Dharma. Only the confident trust the Dharma. It happens to you. Do you understand that? This really happens. Dharma is a protector of your mind. Real protector the mind is the Dharma. Dharma. You seek protector outside is pretty much difficult. Maybe some kind of blessings and powers that come outside to you, protect you. But real protect has to develop in your mind and protect your any situations. For instance, life goes ups and down, ups and down. That's usual. Even you are a good practitioner or not, doesn't matter. Even you perfect practitioner, that can be go down, up, down, up. Because this physical body is just, ordinary. Just like, the conditional thing. Something that exists in the conditional thing has to go through the ups and the downs, ups. Never be perfect always, never be always, miserable. So once you have full Dharma in your mind, that's as protection. When you go down, sometimes and situations can be down in the life, difficult situations. Maybe physically and there's a difficulty, but mind is still very stable. Very, there's something, the stable and something there is solid. And sometimes you are. And even you are up so much, maybe you not like it is very stable, very stable. That's ups and downs. Okay. Okay, that is. Then next shloka. The elements is contained in the 6 topics of the essence and so on. They explained in the light of the face by means of the 3 names. Ngo ni la sopa ye the drug pin Dubai, come and near Gobsundal, mean some done temba yin. So this Sholoka is not so much has to say, have to say, just you know that from the very beginning of this chapter until now, some different topics, the points explained, those points related with the Buddha nature, such as what is the essence of the Buddha nature, so on, so on, so on. All of them are naturally contains in the Buddha nature, but somehow when the practitioners make connection with the Buddha nature, that the way of connection is quite differently, different way to connect. Ordinary person's way to make connection with the Buddha nature, and the noble beings way of the Buddha. So in that three different types of the person exist there. So therefore, Buddha nature is divided into three different phases. Ordinary beings Buddha nature, which is a total obscurity, and Bodhisattva's Buddha nature is partially purified, partially clear. The Buddha nature is totally free from the obscurations, perfectly pure. So the Buddha nature divided into three phases due to the different individuals. But Buddha nature itself never changed, never changed. Whatever the first stage of the sentient being's Buddha nature, it is exactly the same as the perfect stages that Buddha's Buddha nature. We go next one. Just as space, which is the natural free from the thoughts, provides everything, the undefiled expanse, which is the nature of the mind, is all pervading. 제들 도미 다니지 남크군데 지손들 대신 랑인 점이 샘지랑인 점이 대신 군들 로니 군들 로든 another points that are related with Buddha nature. In Tibetan words, this point is called Kundanroa. Kundanroa is meaning Kundanroa is all pervasive, pervading to every existence. Let's say it that way. Do you understand that? Okay. So here, the first example, the space have no thoughts, no concept. Just space have no even the elements, even the space. But space provides to every existence. Every existence manifests within the space. Space gives room to being exist, being grow up, being disappearing. So space is rich to the every level of the existence. Similar thing, that what we call the Buddha nature and the suchness is pervade to every sentient being's mind. The every sentient being's mind manifests within this suchness reality, every sentient being's mind is being exist and disappearing, whatever may be that happens within this the what we call the Buddha nature or suchness. In that case, suchness is the nature of the mind. To me. So, in that case, again, you know that we already have mentioned that from the very ordinary person to the bodhisattva to the enlightened being, this suchness is never change. The same, one thing. And I don't know that it said one thing, but it is always, you know, that's there. It is the nature of the mind. I think we have to stop here today, and maybe if you have some questions, we do some questions about anything.
Hello.
Yeah.
Before you mentioned the difference between wisdom and knowledge, where I understood the importance of knowledge, basically for the arrow to be able to shoot and hit the target. Now, from what I've heard, there is like very accomplished bodhisattvas who were illiterate, who could not read, and who basically didn't study, but developed great wisdom.
Yes, that could be.
There could be, okay. So then the question is, what is knowledge?
Knowledge not necessarily much depend on the scriptural. Knowledge is inside your mind. Scriptural provides you knowledge, but somehow knowledge is like, you know, come to your mind understanding.
So
Your mind, you know, there's a thought understand. Like, you know, some people may not know much about, you know, the languages, particularly in the old days, especially in both in India and Tibet. Many good practitioners, they don't even read scripture, but they get meaning. That happened. How that is possible to do is for them, there's a way to shortcut. Not necessarily to learn a lot of things, scripturals and this, you know, that's what we call the Dharma teaching, Madhyamaka or something, Tantra, something, these things, no need. How they do is they, from your position, what you need is really devotion. Okay? Undoubtful trust to Dharma. Okay? This is the big condition for us. Without any reason, that kind of, you know, the trust, confidence, Dharma is not that much easy. Some people must have that trust and confidence to Dharma. Then come to the teacher. And the teacher knows his condition. He is not a brainly person. He is not something educated to learn a lot of philosophical teachings. Teacher knows him or her. And the teacher give accordingly instruction to him or her, saying like, check your mind. Okay. Invest it. Like, you know, in the meditation, there are tradition of meditation, Mahamudra. First, you establish Shene practice. Shene practice no need to know anything. It is simply trying to be relaxed mind. Simply rest mind in one point. Shene is that. Then when you come to the Laktong, and earning that wisdom, knowledge, then what we call traditionally in the Muhammad instructions called samsar. Samsar means search the mind. Okay, search the mind. Okay, so teacher never point out what mean by the mind, where it is, how it, the mind character, and the location. Never say. He or she himself should to analyze mind. Analyze days and days, weeks it take. There's a ghost everywhere in the mountain, stay in the mountain, in the cave, and to go everywhere, thinking, where's my mind? How does it look like? Is there real or is there not real? Or something inside the brain or something inside the heart or outside something? Something exists outside? Or there's nothing mind actually, no mind. If there's no mind, then why I'm thinking, why I'm seeing these things, why I'm hearing this sound? Okay, if there's mind, then where? How it exists? Is there any intrinsic, independent, something like solid or not? Searching, analyze, and come to the teacher and give it the that's a result. And then finally teacher think now he or she got the natural mind. Then teacher introduce so-called introduction natural mind. Okay, that is okay. What you found there, that is the natural your mind. That is the enlightenment. That is the Mahamudra. Okay, then he has confidence with it. No doubt. Okay, I found that teachers give introduce me. That is the Mahamudra. That is the natural mind, true natural mind. So then he or she keep that. And meditative concentration means more awareness presence, more aware, be aware. It's more bring into the, awareness, more, reality, more clear. And more this becomes clear and clear, and then, that's happened. So, so wisdom's there, okay? Because there's no really, nothing exists at the same time, everything's there. There's no mind, the Lama says. At his first teaching, there's no mind at all. Okay? Then after there's no mind, but who is thinking? And the thoughts arise, what is that? So then, we say usually in the easily, the term is appearance and emptiness, inseparability. Experience and emptiness, inseparability. That is not, seeing in the intellectually, not that you learned from the books, from the teacher, but you see yourself. Okay, mind is there, appears vividly. I see the pillar. I see you. I hear. That is my mind. I have thought. Sometimes I got emotions. Mind is there. This is my mind. At the same time, this manifestation does not really exist any form of independent nature, any form of intrinsic nature. There's not really, if you search it, there's not really nothing empty of nature. Okay. This is, determined by your searching, your analyze. So you got, in that case, you got the essence of the wisdom. You have the wisdom. But you may not have much to say. You may not have much to explain. Such things, a lot of exist, okay? Great yogis' teachings. Sometimes we call it a realized one. He is really realized. But you go to him or her, ask some questions. They don't know how to say this much. Maybe everything's a mind. They would say, maybe everything's in the mind. Or maybe mind's emptiness, there's nothing. Like, one of my friends, went to a great Lama from Drugong Kaju and asked, introduce natural mind. He immediately said, there's no mind. There's no mind. How can I introduce you? Mind does not exist. If that person is smart, he got. Okay. Telopa says that, okay? Telopa says, Jeho, Denarana Yishite, Nga Jilam, Yich Jeremy. Telongai, Chiang Matompe. The Jeho becomes wonderful. This is just self-awareness. Self-awareness things. There's nothing to think. There's nothing to say in the word. Me, Telopa, I don't see anything. I don't know anything. How can I to say something to you? Same these things, okay? These are same things. So these things happened. So people like us, you should learn a little bit. Like we are growing very different conditions, live very different society, very different, that's this mentality society. We have a lot of informations, good or bad or true or untrue, and collected a lot of informations of life and mind. It is not easy to trust one thing. Really confidence, having confidence. So that way, if you learn a little bit, and the Buddhist teaching has value if you learn. Even you do not need to go to believe. Just intellectually learn, you can find a value. And you understand something valuable there, you can have the trust. We can build by the trust, through the learning. That is our, that's a condition. I see that. If I say you have to have a lot of confidence, trust the Dharma, that's a good word to us. But in deep down, I have a lot of information from the philosophy, from the different spirituality, from the different, education. But I don't see the value, and I could not prove something that, that's trustworthy. I cannot be trust. Yeah? So therefore, for us, I always suggest to learn something, really learn something. If you more learn, you will see more, the value in Dharma. But maybe some of you have naturally strong trust. Even you grew up and, live in the very, sophisticated, that's a society. But somehow your karmic tendency, that happened. Previous karmic, due to the previous, your life's karmic tendency push you to trust, having trust Dharma naturally. That, thanks Lord, some people happened. That happened, also not possible. That is the karmically happened to you. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello. Lama, can you explain please about the meditation concentration? Is it the first stage of Bhumi, or no Bhumi, the Samadhi, and there is some stages of Samadhi, and is this, when the stages of Samadhi is end, is it coming the Buddha, the experience of Buddha nature, or how is it separable? It's possible to see some differences between this, and also the Buddha nature, when the Buddha itself, they feel it or live through it, how to say it, experience it. So is it mean that he should realize the rainbow body, or how it is? Yeah, why if it is, why some Hasidus realize the rainbow body, why they left the body? So about it, can you make it clear, please?
The first Buddha probably not experienced meditative experience. The meditative samadhi is the path. Buddha reached other shore. If you reached end of the, that's a route, your nobody concerned about your path. Path is just, past. So who is carrying the path in your, the bag? Buddha reached completely there. So these experiences are gone in a different stage. Okay? So meditation, concentration is begin with Hsien meditation. You should do, if you are interested in practice meditation, concentration, is samadhi, begin with Hsien meditation. Begin with Hsien meditation, you should learn step. In the scripture, there are a lot of teachings for the meditation, especially wherever you go, like, the Ganga, Teloba Ganga Mahamudra and Mahamudra prayer, such things, a lot of scriptures there. You should learn the actual, if you engage actual practice of the Hsien meditation, you should sit. Learning doesn't work, okay? And the reading, listen doesn't work. It helps you, but you have to sit on the cushion. Sitting is needed. Somebody give you instruction, short instructions. Follow these instructions for days, weeks, in the sitting meditation until you really experience that. Then next step, teacher provide you, and that way you should go. The meditative concentrations only come out of sitting meditation. Real things are sitting meditation. Okay? Huh? Bhumi is the bodhisattva was the level is different again. The meditative concentration, this is samadhi has different levels, but there is a little bit higher samadhi. For us, it's Hsien meditation first. Okay.
Namaste, sir. My question is, you talked about psychic powers and miracles.
Yes.
So Buddha disapproved miracles several times. Like there is a story in Vinay Pitaka about Pindola Bharadwaj, who was a monk and who flew in the sky, and Buddha heavily disapproved it, right?
Yeah.
But then there's so many stories where Buddha performed miracles, like in Sravasti, Nalanda, and Vaishali, and even like great gurus like Guru Padmasambhav, he performed several miracles, including that in Bhutan and all.
Yes.
So, is miracles disapproved per se, or is it matter of how much evolved the being is? What is the teaching here?
How much what?
Evolved the being is. How much evolved beings here? How much developed the being is, right?
How many people develop the miracles? You mean that?
No. So what is the teaching here? Like Buddha disapproved miracles.
Yes.
And
Proved and disproved, both.
Yeah. So what is the learning here? What is the teaching here regarding miracles?
Miracles are not that much important. And basically, I mentioned before, if miracles come out of samadhi, if you have really strong samadhi, meditative concentration, miracles can be happened. But according to Buddhist practice, the path is not for the getting miracles. Okay? Miracles come just spontaneously. They come to just, that's a side way. It's not main focus point. Main focus point in Buddhist path is to reach to the nirvana, get rid of samsara, dead. On that path, we need wisdom and meditative samadhi, these two things. Then meditative samadhi, meditative concentration is pretty much good enough. Then miracles just naturally come to you. Naturally come to you. So, that's it's an, some or many people may have the miracles, but they are not so much interested to display these miracles. Not so much useful. What? I mean, if you walk on the water, what is proposed to that? I mean, what's the benefit come out of this? Sorry. But some other case need miracle performing. Sometimes, like in the Buddha's case, sometimes he disproved miracles due to some miracle. Someone who obtained the miracle, people they have so much proud about it. So much proud and so much there's a feel that is the only something that's the most thing happens from them for them, Buddha disproved the miracles. And the other case, Buddha performed miracles by himself. Not only the Buddha, many like Milarepa and the Guru Pema Sambhavas, other many great teachers, they performed miracles due to some necessary things happened. For instance, like there's people who really don't like Dharma practice, and people really against the Dharma, and the practitioners in that case, then some kind of showing the miracle powers to defeat those ideas, those that's views. Even that's profound miracles brings a lot of people to the path of Buddhist. So in that way, some case need. So besides that, miracles are just the magic. Okay. Anyway. Oh, yeah.
Khenpo. For a long time, I wonder about the pervading quality of the Buddha nature. It is always said it's it pervades only question mark the mind. Beings, living beings, I understand it, yeah?
Sentient beings, okay.
Yes, but what about the rest? I mean, there's so much other stuff around us and in the universe, and which is not really alive and I think it hasn't got a mind, or has it?
No.
Yeah, but what about all this? Is it also pervaded by the Buddha nature?
You mean basically Buddha nature pervades of the sentient mind.
Yeah.
Besides the mental, there's a lot of other things. Yeah? Like in the universe, a lot of there's material things, trees, flowers, and waters, mountain.
All the elements, chemistry.
Yeah,
elements.
all of the Buddha nature. What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure. My intuition tells me that it really pervades everything. I mean, it can't stop anywhere, can it?
How about this idea?
Because there's a wall, it still can pervade.
How about this idea? Everything's your mind.
Yeah.
Then what?
What? Pardon?
If everything's your mind manifestation.
Yeah.
What do you see? What do you hear? What do you test? What do you think? What do you experience is your mind manifestation.
Yes, but
Then
but still, I don't know, but the wall has no mind.
world has no mind. The world, what you see, is your mind manifestation, mind projection. So then, that covers. Besides the mind, I mentioned, that is the important question. I mentioned that before time. Things look like exist to us outside, really concretely, yeah?
What?
Really concretely.
What?
things,
Yeah, things.
yeah, exist outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we see, that's what we believe, that's what we feel.
Yeah.
The ordinary person like us, everybody agree with that. But somehow, if you research, check, if you find there's nothing outside, can we prove that?
That there's nothing outside?
Outside, yeah. Not really exists outside. Can be
Oh,
proved?
well, no.
Huh?
No.
Okay. I use the tree often. The tree is, that's my example in that case. If you look at the tree, you see the tree, yeah?
Yeah.
We cannot deny that there's no tree because we see. Yes?
All together, yeah.
Yeah, all together we see.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can touch the tree also too. So then if you research or maybe analyze where the really tree exists, you should to look the how trees exist. And there's all this, there's how to say this, every branch is not a tree. Do you agree with that?
Yes, yes.
Every leaf is not tree.
Yeah, okay.
And the trunk is not tree.
Yeah,
Inside, outside, there's no tree.
yeah.
So what do you conclude? Tree is still there or not? Tree is not really there. It is just, simply our idea.
But is it this thing that everything is conditioned?
Yeah, condition, this composed collection appears, and we named tree. We named, conceptually input the tree and named tree. Besides this name and conceptual, there's no tree in the object. Not really. If there's a tree real there, then if you search, you find a tree. Each branch, each leaf is no tree. Outside, there's no tree. Inside, no tree. Tree is something exists and later disappears. Not that. Tree is very beginning time, never existed there. Tree is just or a concept, idea. So therefore, the things are just our idea.
Okay.
And
then the tree is empty. No?
yeah, then each branch is the same situation. Not only the branch live, but everything, what you hear, what you see, everything go same situation. More search, more dispute. And eventually, you be able to have conclusion, just everything's my mind mad. So therefore, samsara is just the state of the mind, mental experience. And intellectually easily to prove, but still, in the psychological, emotional level, we don't accept that. Still something there. Yeah. So in that case, then eventually you realize everything's in my mind, really, whatever may be. And that's in the reality, there's nothing really exists. But it is mind is manifested, and also mind too. Mind does not exist again in the independent reality and some kind of intrinsically some kind of the real there. The mind is also go in the same situation, and you really realize that at the end, what happened to us, what we call that non-dual subjects, objects both disappeared. And wisdom, this non-dual wisdom is experience. So in that case, there is something so what we call the extraordinary way to make communication. Those Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they are totally experience non-dual, yet they see everything clearly. There's no mistake, anything. Everything can be, there's manifestations and, realities spontaneously. There's understanding. So this is what we call the unconceivable way to understand. So, okay, so then what is the Buddha nature, whether it exists in the house or tree or anyway, this subject is quite a profound one, okay? This subject categorically belongs to what we call the discriminating wisdom.
Okay.
So there's good meditators, even they don't learn the philosophical teachings, but they get in that way. As I said before, eventually, Lama tells everything's your mind. Just they believe that.
Okay.
They have trust. Okay, everything in the mind. What I see, good, bad things, it's just my mind projection. Then they don't grasp it much.
Yeah.
They don't have much ego clinging, and the clanging, these things happened.
Yeah.
And then, outside appearance not that much affected to their mind.
But when you say everything is mind, and then you also say mind doesn't exist.
Mind is also empty.
Yeah.
Empty nature.
It's a bit
Then what?
Yeah, eben.
Have you heard the
We
non-dual?
can't solve it. We can't solve it here.
Have you heard the word non-dual, dualistic, non-dual wisdom?
Of course.
Okay, then that can be, that explains. After all, only you understand that both subjects, objects not really exist. If something existed, then you can say non-dual, but in deep down your mind, still something clinging. Objects there, subjects there. Then non-dual wisdom never happened, but you have still dualistic view. You cannot cut dualistic view forcefully. I should not think it subject to object in that way forcefully. Non-dual reality happened, experience to you when you really see, understanding, eventually, there's a disappeared. That
Yeah, and then what?
Then what? Silence.
Seems a bit
That
boring.
area, no words can be described, no thought reach there. And na sam jumi hira parosin, ma jimmunga namkung owoni, sosorani, to some jarvium the chatsalos, and the parjamparmidasta, and the trouble there. Na sam jumi hira parosin. That transcendent reality is beyond to say, beyond to think, beyond to the thing, Nasam Jumi. Machi, it is never born, Manga never ceasing, Namkungoni, just like a space. Only Shiraparos, Machi Manga Namuni. So Rani Ichurba, only experience self-awareness wisdom. So we are talking about it. Buddha nature is beyond to these things. We are talking about something self-awareness wisdom experience, which cannot be said, which cannot be defined by the words, inconceivable. Anyway, this is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Rinpoche,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about the Samaya,
Mm-hmm.
because that's why we hire broken Samaya and repairing Samaya Sojong, if I understand well. And I have one question about it. We all get some, I would say, instructions or empowerment, and with it join some promises and so on. It's also count into it like something like that we had, for example, dream with our teacher that give us
Presence of the teacher from actual presence of teaching, okay? Dreams, probably no. But the unusual dreams, like, the visions sometimes, like, high realized beings, they got vision, uh, their teacher, like Marpa, often he got vision, the Naropa. Very, that vision, the eye vision. And then, Tellopa received many teachings from the Vajradhara and Dakini Dorje Pamo. That's a visionary. Through the vision, they got teaching. In that case, it's different, okay? Different. They have, of course, Samaya, extraordinary things happened. But for us, just a dream is a dream. Don't worry about it. Just happy. I mean, even, that the teacher come to your dream and instruction, there's some kind of good connection to your teacher. And there's no particular samaya in that case. Okay? Yeah. Okay, last question.
Khenpo, thank you for your teachings. And what is the love and kindness?
Love and kindness. Love and compassion is together we call the kindness, seva. And the love is just like, they come to the, like, it is not really related with the emotional, what we usually call love. Maybe sometimes, some cases, these come together. The emotional love or unconditional love, whatever may be, compassion together. Love is like, and according to Buddhist, generating love is, first, love is, the first you should understanding that, that every sentient beings want to be happy, okay? You should understand the basic things, there's understand. Every living sentient beings want to be happy, like me, my personal, what I have desire, what I have, that's wishing is I want to be happy, successful. Me like that. Then, that's every sentient is the same. In this case, we share same, desire, same, that's a visions. Every living being, no matter who they are, your relative, your friend, your colleagues, whatever may be, everyone has this kind of, the vision to be happy, okay? First, we should understand that, okay? Many people don't understand that. I want to be happy. I don't know them, okay? So here, I wanted to be happy, and others, of course, want to be happy. First, really deeply you contemplate that, okay? Like me, my personal, what I have desire, you have that, you have that. So we have equal, really equal, that's beings, okay? After you understand that, then you should to first verbally trying to develop love. May all sentient beings be happy and have a constant happiness. Verbally express, trying to your thought reach there. It is form of aspiration, form of prayer come. May everyone be happy. I really want it. I really wish everybody, myself, my family, even that the strangers be happy. I want to see everybody be happy, okay? So be happy. So then your mind look for others' happiness. Your mind deeply having desire to others' happiness, okay? From that point, love starts. Love starts. Then if you Buddhist, then, okay, I want to do something for them as much as I can. Since everyone wants to be happy, in order to provide happiness to society, to my family, to my friend, to my colleagues, to strangers, I really wanted to do something, okay? Some kind of form of the promise come to your mind. And then you look what I can do. Okay, this physical body is limited. I cannot do much this one. Now I should to achieve enlightenment first. Okay, if I get an enlightenment, then I can do a lot of benefit to sentient beings, provide happiness to them. Okay, so aiming to achieve enlightenment for reason create a lot of happiness to the sentient beings because you love every sentient beings. That is a pure love, okay? That is the we should develop step by step. This is not really emotional, what we call the I love you. This emotional love is pretty much depend on the that's a how to say very that's a condition. Some strange feeling caught you on that particular object. You stuck there. You stuck there. You may not feel happy actually. This real love in the Buddhist points shows love. If you think about it, your mind becomes really happy. You're searching happiness to the others because somehow, indirectly, you feel happy. Really, it's happened because your selfish ego cling is not much involved there. Mind more search others' benefit. You are not clinging something, ego and selfish. So this reason, your mind being open, be happy. Such practice, someone who practice such things, they have different expression. Really, when you go approach that kind of person, you see little bit something really, that's special. Facial express and a physical, that's a manner is some kind of, that's attractive, really, because in the deep there's something, that's a, okay. Okay, today we have that next time, okay? Nam de ye tam je se ba ni tom ne ni be zha nan pam ze je ga nan je wa lai zhu ba ye se be co ro wan ro ba shu.